if you need to adjust your mirrors, on the door panel on the left above the window switches, you'll see your mirror controls. So you just gotta select the mirror you want to adjust, and then you can make the adjustments.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah. It's pretty much like my car.
Yeah, it's a pretty normal system.
Yeah. I guess that's one of the key aspects, that it has to be somewhat familiar.
Yeah, I mean, that's what our whole goal was, is we didn't want people to feel like they're getting into a completely different type of vehicle. We just wanted people to feel comfortable.
Exactly.
It's just a normal car, just a different powertrain.
Quite.
Yes, exactly. Alrighty. If you need to adjust your steering wheel, again, there's a little tiny stalk here, so you can bring it closer, farther away. It's all power, so you just move that little stalk in the direction you want it to go.
Oh, sweet,
So it's a 4-way adjustable steering wheel.
Yeah, excellent.
Alrighty.
And you got directions in here.
You got your map up there, which you can also hit nav here, and it'll pop up the map here. So there's a few different ways to view things, a few different ways to do stuff. So currently the maps are on top, the phone is on the bottom. So if our phone was paired through Bluetooth, you see information from it here, like your contacts list. You can see your recent calls, make phone calls right from here, or use the voice recognition. So you can just push this button, say call Bill, and it'll look through your phone book for a bill.
Press once and then just start speaking.
Yeah, so you push and hold, and then when you're done speaking, then you release.
Oh, okay, okay,
So,
good.
You can flip the locations of these screens, so you can have the maps on bottom, whatever else on top. So I can hit my web browser, so now we got the internet up here. The way the car gets internet is through the 3G connectivity. So the car has its own 3G connection.
Okay.
Currently, Tesla is paying for that. Sometime in the future, we're gonna have to start making you pay for that. I don't know what that time frame is. It's just a unique perk we're offering right now, but I don't know the time frame on when that'll change.
So if you're in Death Valley,
if you're in Death Valley, yeah, most likely no service.
okay, definitely no service.
Yeah, exactly. Now the two things that really are that the internet requires, or that require the internet, are obviously the web browser, and then actually the maps here. So these maps are actually Google Maps. So it's streaming straight from Google servers over the internet.
So they're not cached.
They're not cached.
You need the
internet. Yes.
Okay.
Now that map up there is cached. So you don't need to really look over here very much. You can, or I mean, if you don't have the internet, that map,
So these are separate systems.
Separate systems, yes. Now this instructions here, these are cached on the car's hard drive as well.
Oh, okay.
So even if you don't see this map, you'll still have a directions list. So you can see turn left here, go straight, turn right, go left. So you can still use this. Plus, it'll still show that map up there, and it'll still talk to you. So the only thing you're missing is really just this big map, which I can blow up the screen full screen.
Wow.
So then you can see you got a nice large full screen with live traffic.
Yeah.
But you won't see that obviously without internet. But most of the time that's not a huge deal because you're near cell phone reception. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So how much storage, by the way, do you have on that local hard drive?
So there's I don't know exactly because there's no way for you to get access to it yet. Right. There initially was supposed to be a way for you to load music onto the car, but we kind of retracted that initially. I don't know why. So there is a small hard drive in there, but I don't know that the size because we don't give you the access to it right now.
Is there a CD drive anywhere?
There's no CD drive, but there's USB ports down here. So you can plug in an iPod. You can plug in a hard drive with music.
Sure.
A USB drive.
Okay.
And then that's how you can play music.
Or maybe stream Pandora or something.
Exactly. So if you hit media, it'll bring up this screen here. So we got radio, internet radio, my music and devices. So radio.
That would be control of these guys.
Exactly. Yeah. So internet radio obviously requires the internet, but it has TuneIn and Slacker. We don't have Pandora in here because basically Slacker is the same thing. Which is a different version of it. If you wanted to listen to Pandora, you can put it on your phone, pair it through Bluetooth, and then it'll play over the car speakers through the Bluetooth.
So this is all decided by Tesla. It's not something I can customize.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Right now. Now, who knows? In the future, maybe that'll change. Maybe we'll open it up for customization.
Yeah.
But for right now, it's a pretty locked down system.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because a lot of our onboard computer stuff is like the onboard software also controls our motor, our battery, our inverter. So if we give you access to this, potentially people can get access to other stuff, and we don't want people playing around
hacking with the vitals.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're trying to diverge that. So we will give you eventually. I mean, I don't know. This is just a rumor I've heard. Eventually, we might have to have some customization from here that you can do.
Right.
But I don't know what that time frame is.
Right. Okay.
So,
And you actually adjusted the ambient temperature, or you set it to what, 68 or something?
Yes,
or,
so I just turned it on to get some airflow.
Yeah.
You can, this is kind of like your thermostat at home, so you just kind of select the temperature, and the car will make it that temperature.
And it's separate for each side of the car.
It is separate, yeah. Right now it happens to be synced, but you can unsync them.
Yeah.
If you hit this big button right here, this pulls up all the specific commands, like AC on or off, inside, outside air, where the air is blowing, and then the fan. So you can adjust these manually. So if I just want to turn the fan up, I can just turn it up manually. You can see it turned off auto though.
Right.
So now auto is not functioning, but if I hit auto back, it's just going to be like your thermostat at home. It'll kind of make it that temperature.
So I guess this will probably get a bit greasy after, you know, a long time.
It could, definitely.
Yeah.
Now we do give you a little rag, a little like microfiber cloth with the car, so you can keep that in the glove box, kind of wipe it down. We do have, if you go to controls, go to displays, we have a screen cleaning mode. So if you push on this, now the screen is inactive, so now you can just wipe this whole thing down.
Without setting off all kinds of...
Exactly. To get back out, you have to push and hold this button for 3 seconds.
3 seconds, okay. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So that was a new addition in the last software update, so we are continuously rolling out updates. You do get lifetime free software updates, and they'll be done either wirelessly through the 3G connection. You can also connect the car to Wi-Fi. So if you have a Wi-Fi hotspot on your phone, you can just use your phone's data, so you don't have to pay for a separate connection.
Right.
Or if you're at home, you can connect to your Wi-Fi at home.
Right.
That's how you'll download updates. That's how we'll run diagnostics wirelessly, either through the 3G or Wi-Fi.
What's the sort of max bandwidth or max amount of data that could come down in terms of update size?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Like, you know, megabytes most likely.
Yeah, you're actually the first person ever to ask me that. I don't know.
Okay. How long have you done this?
I've been here for a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, that you're the first person to ever ask me the size of the updates. So,
well, you know,
no matter how long I've worked here, someone always comes up with a new question that I've never been asked before.
It's always on my mind because my customers ask that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so maybe I'll do some. I'll email some people in the.
Yeah, no worries. That's fine.
See about that for future usage. So.
Okay, so let's go.
Alrighty, so basically the car's off right now. To turn it on, you put your foot on the brake.
Okay, let's brake. There we go.
So now the car's on.
Okay.
Doesn't make any noise. There's really no difference between on and off with an electric car. It's basically kind of like your cell phone. When it's off, when the screen's off, it's still kind of on in the background. When you hit the button, it kind of turns the screen on to let you use it. So it's a similar idea here.
This is faster.
Yeah, exactly. This screen's powered by an NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor. And that one's by a Tegra 2.
Okay, nice.
So you have your gear selector right here. So you can pull it straight down to go into drive. Or reverse if you want to back up a little bit. I think you can just clear here.
Should I keep my foot
foot
on
has to be on the brake, just like a normal car.
Yeah.
Normal automatic car, I should say.
And then
your backup camera turns on automatically.
Okay. So now I can see what's behind me while I'm backing up, and I actually have to use the throttle to make it move.
Now, that is a mode called creep. So we just happen to have creep off right now. Whoever drove this car last turned it off.
Okay.
You can turn that back on, so then you can just head out that way if you want.
Yeah.
So when you're, if you want, you can have it so when you lift your foot off the brake, the car will then roll forward slowly. That's the mode we can play with in here.
Okay.
Right now, whoever's driving this last just turned that off.
Okay.
So it makes it behave like a manual transmission. So when you're at a stoplight, you can just release your foot from the brake and the car just sits there.
I see.
Unless you're on a hill, then it'll roll.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I guess it depends on how you want to get started.
Exactly. I mean, I drive a manual car right now, so whenever I drive, I typically turn that off.
Yeah.
Just to because I'm so used to not having creep.
It gets creepy. Okay, so...
All right, we'll just head down this way for a while. We'll get on Lawrence Expressway.
Stay on this lane here, on the right side.
Yeah, we've got a little ways, so if there's traffic's going slow, feel free to move around them.
Yeah.
Just whatever you're comfortable with, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm very comfortable. You know, from what I'm driving. So. Okay. Oh, there was a curb.
Not a problem.
So wow.
So feels very smooth. Now one thing with the car is that as you lift your foot off the accelerator pedal, it's going to start slowing itself down.
Yeah, it's almost like a motor brake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what it's doing is it's actually recharging the battery. So it's converting all that kinetic energy.
The kinetic energy recovery system.
Exactly.
Curse.
Very similar to KERS. We don't call it KERS, but it's basically doing the exact same function. You're converting all that kinetic energy back to electricity, recharging that battery to help extend your range. So we call it a one-pedal drive feel because you really don't have to use your brake pedal a whole lot. You just can kind of rely on that accelerator pedal. So as you start going too fast, you kind of lift your foot off. It'll kind of slowing you down. If it's slowing you down too much, you take your foot back. So
that feels good.
Oh yes, it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. I mean, that's serious acceleration right there.
Oh yes.
I would need like going down 2 gears maybe to get that kind of kick.
Oh, definitely. And the coolest thing is that it's instantaneous. So like literally,
Right.
when you put your foot to the floor,
Yeah.
it just goes, and there'll be a chance that you could literally open it up coming up. So.
Yeah. I mean, you always need that sort of adjustment on the Corvette.
I know,
so
exactly.
yeah.
It's like, oh, time to accelerate, up, downshift 3 gears, and get it at higher RPM
Do some
bands.
people get surprised from this, or you know,
yeah.
they
Definitely. I mean, a lot of times we have people who come in, they've never driven. This is the fastest car they've ever driven.
Yeah.
So when they put their foot down, they kind of like freak out because they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fast.
Wow. How much does this detract from mileage or?
So I don't have an exact number. So this car has our largest battery, 265 miles of range.
Oh.
If you're driving very aggressively, you'll definitely still get over 200 miles.
Yeah.
But it does depend. Everybody's a little bit different. Now you're going to be charging it up every single night.
Right.
So realistically, I mean, what would you say your average daily commute is? Just ballpark.
About 30 miles. Yeah.
All right, so 30 miles, then it'll take you about an hour to recharge. So you'll just plug it in every single night. And because you're waking up with more than 200 miles of range, it doesn't really matter. You can drive aggressively, put your foot down, have fun, and you're going to have more than enough range to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So it's really not a concern.
So, but if you go really conservatively, you can go to 60 miles, but then you would have to be basically very conservative.
Yeah, no, so not this light, the second light, we're going to make a right.
Okay, second light.
So yeah, I mean, if you drive, and that's my favorite thing right there. When the light turns yellow, you just put your foot down and get right through it.
I'd say.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. And feel free to take this turn at speed, and you'll notice the handling, very low center of gravity, very little body roll side to side. Just cornered very flat, and you gotta put your foot down if you want. And it's like a spaceship taking off. All you hear is that kind of whirl from the motor. Very smooth, not a whole lot of body roll. It's just no vibrations, no gear changes because it's a single-speed transmission.
Yeah.
So it's on nothing. There's nothing else like it on the road.
Have you been to Orlando Universal?
Yes.
There's something called the Hulk.
Yes.
Oh, you tried that one?
Yes, I have.
That kind of feels like this.
Oh yes.
You're just basically being shut out, of the gates.
Yep. It's like a roller coaster. That's how a lot of people explain it. So it's I don't know. I love this car. I think it's awesome.
My God, that's scary almost.
It is. It can be dangerous.
It's addictive actually.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. Like I drove this car yesterday up to Palo Alto to do a test drive event, and every time the light would turn green, I would just put my foot down and accelerate away from traffic and just like.
But I'm sure it's got very advanced traction control, so it would never spin the tires.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It definitely not. Through a turn, if you put your foot down, that back end will want to kick out, but the traction control immediately mitigates it, prevents it. Now you can turn off the traction control, so if you want to do some power slides, do some donuts, you can definitely.
In a Model S?
Oh yeah. There's a couple videos online of people doing it. It just lights up those tires. They start smoking a ton, but it doesn't make any noise. So it's just all you hear is the tires squealing. You don't hear an engine noise. You don't hear any of that kind of stuff.
Eventually 2 pups or maybe.
Yeah, eventually depends on how long you do it for.